Have you ever stopped to wonder why two people, both in their 70s, can live such completely different lives? One still drives to the grocery store, laughs with friends over coffee, and takes long walks in the park. The other struggles just to climb a flight of stairs, feels exhausted all the time, and spends most of the day sitting in silence. It almost looks like fate, but the truth is far less mysterious. The real difference lies in the everyday habits and choices they made, year after year, often without realizing their long-term impact. After the age of 60, the body becomes less forgiving. Every small decision, what you eat, how much you move, whether you take that extra glass of water or call your doctor, begins to matter more than ever before. And here's the part many people don't want to hear: most seniors don't recognize these mistakes until their independence is already slipping away. Think about it. We tend to imagine health problems as sudden events, a heart attack, a broken hip, a sharp diagnosis from the doctor. But in reality, those crises are almost always the result of years of quiet neglect. Skipping breakfast because you're not hungry. Avoiding walks because your knees ache. Brushing off sleep issues as just part of getting old. These are the little things that pile up. And because they don't hurt right away, it's easy to ignore them. But slowly, silently, they reshape your future. You might not notice until you find yourself unable to carry groceries, or until the doctor tells you your blood pressure is dangerously high. By then, reversing the damage feels overwhelming. I've spoken to many elders, teachers, homemakers, veterans, even retired seniors older who once lived disciplined lives, who all share the same painful realization: they didn't see the warning signs until it was almost too late. What makes it even harder is that society often tells us aging automatically means decline, as if there's nothing you can do. But science says otherwise. Researchers have proven again and again that lifestyle choices in your 60s, 70s, and beyond can dramatically change outcomes. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that seniors who adjusted just 3 daily habits, hydration, light physical activity, and consistent sleep, extended not only their lifespan, but more importantly, their health span, the years they could live independently, with clarity of mind and strength in their bodies. And that's why this video matters. We are not here to scare you, but to reveal these hidden mistakes that quietly erode your quality of life. You'll hear real stories from real people across America, men and women who learned firsthand what happens when you avoid taking action. Some manage to turn things around, others wish they had acted sooner. By the end, you'll know the 5 most dangerous mistakes seniors make, and the simple steps you must take right now to protect your golden years. Because while aging is inevitable, suffering doesn't have to be. Your future is still in your hands. Health mistake number 1. The very first mistake that quietly robs seniors of their vitality is something so simple, so ordinary, that many people laugh when they hear it: not drinking enough water. But don't be fooled, dehydration is one of the most underestimated threats to aging bodies. After the age of 60, your sense of thirst naturally weakens. This means you may not feel thirsty even when your body is already running dry. And because the warning signs are so subtle, fatigue, lightheadedness, a bit of confusion, many older adults brush them off as just part of getting old. In reality, these small symptoms are red flags. They are your body's way of saying, "I need water now." Let me tell you about Robert Miller, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from Phoenix, Arizona. Robert considered himself fairly healthy. He wasn't a smoker, he took short walks around his neighborhood, and he enjoyed spending mornings tinkering with his old Chevy in the driveway. But one scorching summer afternoon, while watering his garden, Robert suddenly collapsed. His wife panicked and called 911. At the hospital, doctors discovered that Robert was severely dehydrated. His kidneys were under stress, his blood pressure unstable, and he was dangerously close to kidney failure. Robert was shocked. "I didn't feel thirsty," he told me later. "I thought I was fine. I just never realized how much water mattered." Robert's story isn't unique. Across the United States, emergency rooms see thousands of seniors every year for dehydration-related complications. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Gerontology revealed that older adults who drink less than 1.5 liters of water daily are 30% more likely to suffer from urinary tract infections, dizziness, and falls compared to those who stay hydrated. And here's something even more alarming: dehydration can worsen cognitive decline. The brain is 75% water, and even mild dehydration can cause confusion, memory problems, and irritability. For someone already battling age-related changes, this can be devastating. Why does this happen? Scientists explain that as we age, our kidneys become less efficient at conserving fluids, and our cells lose water more quickly. This makes seniors more vulnerable to sudden drops in hydration. Add in common medications, like diuretics or blood pressure pills, and the risk multiplies. For retired veterans and former seniors older who spent years in disciplined routines, it can feel humiliating to suddenly collapse over something as simple as a lack of water. But humility aside, it's a reality that must be faced. The solution, however, is surprisingly simple. Doctors recommend creating habits that make hydration automatic. Keep a water bottle within reach at all times, by your recliner, beside your bed, in the car. Drink a glass of water before every meal, not just when you feel thirsty. Choose water or herbal tea instead of soda or coffee, which can actually worsen dehydration. And here's a practical trick: if plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon or cucumber to give it flavor. These little things may feel small, but they make all the difference. So if you want to protect your kidneys, your brain, and your independence, you must make hydration a priority. Don't wait until your body screams for help. Prevention is the key. Because in the golden years, the simplest daily choices often decide whether you spend your time thriving or recovering in a hospital bed. Health mistake number 2. The second mistake is one that creeps in quietly but leaves devastating consequences: neglecting movement. Many seniors believe that exercise is something reserved for athletes, or for younger people with endless energy. But here's the truth: the human body was designed to move, and when it doesn't, it begins to break down. After 60, your muscles naturally lose strength unless you give them a reason to stay active. This isn't just about looking fit, it's about preserving the ability to climb stairs, carry groceries, or even rise from a chair without assistance. These are the daily things that determine whether you remain independent or become reliant on others. Consider the story of Evelyn Johnson, a 68-year-old grandmother from Dayton, Ohio. For most of her adult life, Evelyn worked as a school secretary. She was always on her feet, walking from classroom to office, helping teachers, managing papers. But when she retired, she slowed down, far more than she realized. She began spending long afternoons in her recliner, watching TV. At first, it felt like well-earned rest. But within a couple of years, her legs weakened so much that she could barely walk from the living room to the kitchen without stopping to catch her breath. When her daughter insisted she see a doctor, Evelyn was diagnosed with sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. The doctor explained that because she had neglected regular movement, her muscles had deteriorated faster than expected. "I thought sitting was harmless," Evelyn said, "but I learned it was one of the most harmful habits I could have formed." This is not unusual. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 1 in 3 adults over the age of 70 experiences some degree of sarcopenia, leading to frailty, falls, and loss of independence. And it's not just muscles at risk. Lack of movement also affects bone density, balance, and even mental health. A sedentary lifestyle has been linked to higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and dementia. In other words, neglecting movement doesn't just steal your strength, it chips away at your mind and body at the same time. For retired veterans and former seniors older who once lived disciplined, active lives, this decline can feel especially cruel, like their old strength has betrayed them. But in reality, it's not betrayal, it's neglect. So what's the solution? You don't need a fancy gym or heavy weights. Doctors say that even light, consistent activities, such as 20 minutes of brisk walking, chair exercises, or resistance bands, can dramatically slow muscle loss. Gardening, dancing, or even standing up and sitting down 10 times in a row are powerful ways to remind your body it must stay strong. The secret isn't intensity, it's consistency. These small daily actions add up, creating a body that is resilient, balanced, and far less likely to fall or fracture. Are you still with me up to this point? If yes, type number 2 in the comments below to let me know you're paying attention. And while you're here, don't forget to hit like on this video, subscribe to our channel Golden Age Wisdom, and share it with someone you love. You never know, your reminder could help them build the habits that protect their independence for years to come. Health mistake number 3. The third mistake many older adults fall into is ignoring nutrition variety. Food becomes routine: toast and coffee in the morning, a sandwich for lunch, maybe soup or cereal for dinner. At first glance, these choices don't look harmful, but over time, a repetitive diet deprives the body of the nutrients it must have to stay strong. After the age of 60, the digestive system becomes less efficient at absorbing vitamins and minerals, which means seniors need more variety, not less. Yet, ironically, this is the stage of life when many people narrow their food options. Sometimes it's because cooking for one feels lonely, sometimes it's about convenience. But the result is the same: deficiencies that quietly damage long-term health. Take the story of Henry Thompson, a 75-year-old widower from Tampa, Florida. After his wife passed away, Henry never really went back to cooking full meals. "Why bother with all that chopping and cleaning when it's just me?" he admitted. For nearly 3 years, he lived mostly on canned soup, crackers, and coffee. It felt simple and manageable, but Henry noticed his energy fading. He struggled to focus during conversations, felt dizzy when standing, and even forgot where he put his keys more often. At first, he laughed it off as senior moments. But a doctor's visit revealed something much more serious: severe vitamin B12 deficiency. His diet simply didn't provide enough variety to sustain his body and brain. Henry's case reflects a bigger issue. According to Harvard Health, nearly 20% of seniors over 65 suffer from vitamin B12 deficiency, which can mimic dementia symptoms like confusion, memory loss, and mood changes. It's not just B12. Calcium, vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, and magnesium are often missing in monotonous diets. These are the building blocks of strong bones, a sharp mind, and a resilient immune system. Without them, seniors face higher risks of fractures, depression, and chronic fatigue. And yet, because the decline is gradual, many don't realize what's happening until a crisis hits. It's one of the most dangerous things about poor nutrition: you don't feel the damage until it's already deep. This problem doesn't only affect widows and widowers. Even retired veterans and former seniors older, who once ate structured, balanced meals during their service, sometimes struggle to maintain variety at home. Old habits of simplicity, bread, meat, and potatoes, linger, while vegetables and fresh fruits disappear from the plate. These ingrained routines can be comforting but are quietly destructive when repeated day after day. So what's the solution? Doctors recommend creating simple, sustainable habits to reintroduce variety. A colorful plate, greens, reds, yellows, means a range of nutrients. Adding just 2 servings of leafy vegetables, swapping crackers for almonds, or cooking salmon once a week can transform nutrient levels. Smoothies are another easy fix: blend spinach, banana, and yogurt for a nutrient-dense breakfast that takes minutes. For those who struggle with appetite, smaller, more frequent meals can be easier than 3 large ones. The goal isn't gourmet dining, it's balance. In the end, food is more than fuel. It is medicine. And ignoring its variety is like skipping doses of the prescription your body desperately needs. If you want to avoid frailty, memory decline, and constant fatigue, you must pay attention to what's on your plate. Because in your golden years, these small daily things determine whether your body supports your dreams, or holds you back from living them. Health mistake number 4. The fourth mistake that silently undermines the lives of older adults is skipping social connection. It's easy to underestimate, because loneliness doesn't show up on an X-ray, and no lab test directly says, you are isolated. But make no mistake, loneliness is as damaging to your health as smoking or obesity. After retirement, when routines slow down and family members get busy with their own lives, many seniors find themselves spending long hours alone. What begins as just a quiet day at home can slowly turn into weeks of isolation, and that is when the damage begins. Among all the things that shape the quality of aging, connection is one of the most powerful, and ignoring it may be one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Take Linda Garcia, a 70-year-old former nurse from San Antonio, Texas. When she first retired, she looked forward to peaceful mornings with coffee and novels. But as months passed, her phone rarely rang. Friends she once saw at work no longer visited. Her children, busy with jobs and kids, called only once a week. I felt invisible, she confessed. At her annual checkup, her doctor noticed rising blood pressure and signs of anxiety. Shockingly, he explained that her declining health was tied not only to diet or exercise but also to her lack of social interaction. Linda was stunned. She had never connected her loneliness to her physical well-being. Yet once she joined a church walking group and began attending a senior center twice a week, the transformation was undeniable. Her energy improved, her mood lifted, and her blood pressure stabilized within months. Linda's story reflects a growing body of research. In 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General issued a major advisory declaring loneliness a public health crisis. Studies show that chronic social isolation increases the risk of dementia by 50%, heart disease by 29%, and stroke by 32%. To put it bluntly, if you consistently skip connection, you are putting your life at risk. These are not just emotional consequences, they are medical facts. And yet, many older adults dismiss loneliness as something minor, something to endure silently. Even retired veterans and former seniors older, who once thrived in tight-knit units of camaraderie, often struggle to rebuild those bonds after leaving the service. The habits of discipline remain, but the daily brotherhood disappears, and with it, the protective shield of friendship. So how do you avoid this silent killer? Start small. Call a friend once a week. Join a local group, church, library club, or community fitness class. Even short, friendly chats with neighbors make a difference. Doctors stress that socializing releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which lowers stress and boosts immunity. You don't need to be the life of the party, you just need to stay connected in ways that feel genuine. The key is to make connection a must, a daily habit as important as brushing your teeth or taking your medicine. Because these small relational habits keep your heart and mind strong. If you're still watching and listening carefully up to this point, type number 4 in the comments below so I know you're with me. And while you're here, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to our channel Golden Age Wisdom, and share this video with others. Sometimes the reminder you pass along can be the lifeline another senior desperately needs. Health mistake number 5. The fifth mistake many older adults fall into is ignoring sleep quality. People often think of sleep as a luxury, something nice if you can get it, but not essential. Yet science tells us otherwise. Sleep is not optional, it is a biological must. After the age of 60, sleep patterns naturally change, but that doesn't mean poor sleep should be accepted as normal. In fact, dismissing restless nights, frequent awakenings, or daytime fatigue can quietly sabotage both your body and your mind. Among all the things that determine longevity, sleep may be one of the most overlooked pillars of health. Consider George Williams, a 74-year-old retired firefighter from Buffalo, New York. For decades, George prided himself on being tough. Even during his service as a senior older in the Army, he was used to short nights and early mornings. After retirement, he carried that habit forward, staying up late watching television and waking up before sunrise. At first, he brushed off his fatigue, blaming age. But over the years, his memory worsened, his mood became irritable, and his blood pressure climbed higher. It wasn't until his doctor ordered a sleep study that George learned he suffered from severe sleep apnea. His breathing stopped dozens of times each night, depriving his brain and heart of oxygen. The diagnosis shocked him. "I thought sleep was just about rest," George admitted, "but I learned it was about survival." George's story is far from rare. The National Sleep Foundation reports that nearly 50% of adults over 65 experience some form of sleep disturbance. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it directly affects heart health, immune function, and even weight control. A landmark study from the University of California, Berkeley, revealed that seniors who routinely sleep less than 6 hours a night face a 33% higher risk of dementia. Lack of deep sleep prevents the brain from clearing toxic proteins, like beta amyloid, that accumulate and damage memory over time. In other words, every restless night is not just a lost evening, it's a step toward cognitive decline. Another danger is how poor sleep feeds other problems. Seniors who don't sleep well are more likely to fall, because fatigue slows reflexes and weakens balance. Chronic insomnia is linked to depression, a silent epidemic among older adults. And yet, many people dismiss sleep problems as unchangeable, resigning themselves to years of exhaustion. That resignation is one of the biggest mistakes of all. So, how can you avoid this trap? Experts recommend simple but powerful habits: keeping a regular sleep schedule, turning off screens an hour before bed, and making your bedroom a calm, dark environment. Limiting caffeine and heavy meals in the evening also helps. For those with persistent issues, a doctor's consultation is vital, because conditions like sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome are treatable, but only if taken seriously. Even something as simple as a short evening walk or calming bedtime ritual can dramatically improve sleep quality. Sleep is not wasted time. It is healing time. Your heart, brain, and immune system all depend on it. Ignoring it is like refusing to charge the battery that keeps your life going. And in your golden years, when every ounce of energy and clarity matters, good sleep is not just comfort, it is survival. Final conclusion. As we come to the close of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the 5 health mistakes most seniors make without realizing it until it's too late. First, we saw how ignoring hydration slowly drains energy, damages the kidneys, and accelerates aging from the inside out. Second, we learned that neglecting movement allows muscles to wither away, robbing independence one step at a time. Third, we uncovered how ignoring nutrition variety deprives the body of the essential building blocks it must have to keep bones strong and minds sharp. Fourth, we revealed the hidden danger of skipping social connection, a mistake that silently increases the risk of dementia and heart disease as surely as any physical illness. And finally, we exposed how ignoring sleep quality quietly erodes memory, weakens immunity, and steals years from life expectancy. Taken together, these are not minor oversights. These are the very things that separate a life of strength and dignity from one of frailty and regret. Science makes it clear: small daily choices accumulate like compound interest. A short walk, a glass of water, a phone call to a friend, a balanced meal, an extra hour of sleep. These habits may seem small, but they create the foundation for the future you deserve. And the most powerful part? It is never too late to change. Whether you are 60, 70, or even 85, your body and brain respond to care. Every positive shift, no matter how modest, is an investment in more clarity, mobility, and joy. Consider again the voices of Evelyn in Ohio, Henry in Florida, Linda in Texas, and George in New York. Each of them learned, sometimes painfully, that health does not decline only because of age, it declines when we neglect it. Their stories are not warnings alone. They are also proof of resilience. After facing weakness, fatigue, loneliness, or sleeplessness, each one of them made changes, however small, and saw life improve. These are living reminders that it's never too late to take action. And if they could transform their days, so can you. For retired veterans and former seniors older, this message may be even more personal. Discipline, routine, and resilience were once your greatest strengths. Those qualities are still within you. They simply need to be redirected toward building sustainable daily habits that support your golden years. Because while aging is inevitable, decline is not. Decline is a choice, one that can be delayed, reduced, or even reversed by how you live today. Now, let me ask you, are you still with me until this very last part? If yes, type number 5 in the comments below to let me know you've stayed the course. And before you go, do something simple but powerful. Like this video to show your support, subscribe to our channel Golden Age Wisdom so you don't miss the next life-changing lesson, and share this with someone you love. Because one share could be the very reminder that saves another senior from years of regret. At the end of the day, your golden years are not just about surviving, they're about thriving. Don't wait until it's too late. Choose wisely, live fully, and remember, wisdom is not only about knowing the truth, but about practicing it every single day. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope it was useful, and see you in the next one.